Hi guys, this is Emily Cupelli, and for today's card I'll be using the Wild Beauty stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. This is a beautiful flowers stamp set that has both the outlines and the solid images, which makes it very versatile. I started preparing a piece of watercolor cardstock from Strathmore using my powder bag. This way the embossing powder I'll be using later will stick only on the stamped images. Then I started stamping the outlined flowers using my Versamark ink pad, which is a clear sticky ink perfect for heat embossing. Since I have used this stamp set with black ink before, you can see that I am getting a bit of that black ink in my images. Anyhow, I am not really worried about this because I'll be using white embossing powder that is going to cover it. Anyway, if you are going to use a clear embossing powder, you might want to make sure it is completely clean before using it. Once I have all my flowers stamped, and I make sure I sprinkle all of them with my white embossing powder from Hero Works, I'll go ahead and heat emboss them with my heat gun. Once I have all my embossing powder melted and shiny, I'll spray it with water. Lately, I have been loving the very soft and sweet and dreamy look in cards, so I chose 3 colors that are in the same color family. These are the pink, orange, and yellow. If you have seen a color wheel before or you simply Google it, you will notice that these colors are in the same row. They are not opposite, so they will give me that soft look instead of a lot of contrast, which I would get if I use opposite colors, which means that are far away from each other in the color wheel. More specifically, I am using my distress ink pads in Tattered Rose, Worn Lipstick, Scattered Straw, and Dried Marigold. I started adding the Tattered Rose, which I have been loving lately, pretty much all over my panel, especially in the background around the flowers. Then I started adding the Worn Lipstick, which is a darker pink, very loosely to some of the flowers. Next, I used the Scattered Straw, which is the light yellow, making sure to mix it a little bit with the pink here and there, to get some blending as well as some subtle orangey color. Then I started adding the rest of the colors to the flowers, in a very loosely way, so that I could get some color variation in the flowers. I really enjoyed the process of coloring this panel, and I totally loved the final result. Now I decided to add some gold splatters using my Distress Stain in Tarnished Brass. I'm not really sure if I would do this step the next time, but the final result was just fine. Once I added the splatters, I blotted it with the cloth. As I just said, I want a very soft look in this card, so I'll be using the same colors to color this cute fairy from Long Fawn. For this adorable jackalope, I decided to experiment a little bit with my distress reinkers since I have seen this coloring technique before and I have really liked it, so I decided to try it out myself. To color him, I used the antique linen and vintage photo distress reinkers. I'm not really sure if I can see a significant difference in the coloring with the reinkers. Maybe I just need more practice, but I'm not really sure if I am interested in keep trying it. I think I would simply use my distress ink pads next time. I wanted to add a bit of foiling to my card, so I simply decided to use this gorgeous washi tape from Recollections which I got at Michael's. Anyhow, since it was wider than I wanted it to be, I simply cut it in half. Then I stick it down to the edge of my panel. To give some more shine to my card and add more to that pretty and dreamy look, I decided to add some sequins from Dariz. I used the Crystal Iridescent, and I believe these are the 8 and the 5mm. Remember that I always link the list of supplies in my blog. I glued them down using my multi-medium mat. Then I decided to add some Stardust stickles to the center of my sequence. And this is the card all finished. I really like how it turned out. I think it looks really pretty and adorable, and I totally enjoyed the loose watercoloring in the Emboss flowers. So I'll very probably be using that technique again in more of my cards. I think these colors are perfect for summer but also for fall, so this is a great card to have in my stash. I really hope you like it too. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did and subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed yet. Again, don't forget to visit my blog to see a list of supplies and more close-up pictures. Here are 2 more cards that you might enjoy and a DIY dashboard I made for my planner in my planner channel. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!